Hi guys, I had a great question from a previous student on Facebook about how to support herself with exercises for her neck and sore shoulders. I searched and searched online and I couldn't find anything that I was happy with to send to her. So I've decided to create this video for her today, but also to share with all of you. Before we get started, just one friendly reminder. In yoga, we always practice ahimsa, so we're not going to push through anything that is painful for us in our body. Also, if you do have an acute injury, some of these exercises won't be suitable for you. So I trust that you will know whether this is for prevention or relief from tension rather than working through an acute injury which you haven't seen your health professional for. So I just want to make sure that that's really clear, but these exercises will certainly support people who work at a desk, drive, or just have a lot of tension build up through their neck and shoulders. So without any further ado, let's get started. I'm sitting in easy pose. I have support underneath my buttocks. So a block or a cushion if you're working at home would be a great step. So sitting up nice and tall, lifting up through the crown of the head. We're just going to start with some very gentle neck rolls. So looking down, taking it out to the right, back, and down. I encourage you to do 5 slowly in each direction before then moving the other way. Again, 5 in each direction. We can also then do some gentle assists. So taking the opposite hand to the opposite ear and just gently drawing the ear to the shoulder. Pausing. Very gentle. Release. Repeat on the opposite side. Moving through to the shoulders now, staying in the same easy pose, taking the fingertips to the shoulders themselves, and working with our breath here as we breathe in, drawing the elbows together, taking them up overhead and then drawing the shoulder blades towards one another as we take the elbows behind. Working nice and slowly, big gentle circles with the breath. Again, I encourage 5 minimum in each direction before then coming the opposite way. Shoulder blades together, arms up overhead, elbows together as we exhale. Inhale, shoulders blades together. Inhale, elbows together. Exhale. Now for the next option for you, I'm going to use a strap, but if you are at home using a belt or a scarf, and we can take the strap out so that it's a nice wide distance within the arms. We inhale and draw the strap overhead, and then as we exhale, just taking the arms behind the body. Now you'll notice that if you have got built up tension, you won't be able to go all the way down. So this is a perfect opportunity to practice feeling that edge and just figuring out where your opening is going to be for today. Pausing where that edge is found and closing your eyes and just breathing into that space. Once you have breathed into the space for 5 rounds, you may even find that you can take it a little deeper and a little deeper. To exit the pose, inhale, bringing the strap up overhead and drawing it down and placing it to one side. So again, at least 5 to 10 breaths in each part of the pose and just allowing yourself to work through that stretch for as long as is comfortable for you. So now moving anything from underneath the glutes coming up onto our hands and knees. So here we are, fingers spaced nice and wide, shoulders stacked over wrists. Our hips are in alignment, stacked over the knees, pressing up through the shoulder blades. So preparing for our cat-cow pose. So as we inhale, we look forward. This is working into the neck, but also into the shoulders as we draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale into our cow, draw the chin into the chest, and arch the back, pressing the shoulder blades high up to the sky. Inhale, rolling forward. Just being mindful of the back of the neck depending on where the tension is that you're experiencing. You may like to continue to keep the gaze down but drawing the heart forward and shoulders open. Exhale, curl it back. Again, repeating these steps forward and back 5 times in each direction. And we can come down into our puppy pose. So it's child's pose. We bring the buttocks back to the heels, stretch the fingers out in front. And then we can come up and tuck the toes completely and then squeeze the glutes back towards the heels. Walk the fingers out in front to gain length through the spine and then drawing the forehead down towards the mat. So you'll feel here an opening across the top of the shoulders and also a lengthening into the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back up to hands and knees. Untuck the toes, bring the palms back in underneath the shoulders. Preparing now for a thread the needle, which is another shoulder opener. We inhale, raise the right arm all the way up to the sky. Thread that right arm underneath the left, bending into the knees and bringing the right elbow down onto the mat. We then bring the left palm underneath the left shoulder and we can use that as a lever to press down into the floor, opening up through the chest, working into that shoulder girdle. Again, just closing down the eyes and staying here, working through that edge and breathing into the space in the shoulder blades. To release, we press down through the left palm and coming back to our hands and knees. Repeating on the opposite side. Our final pose for today is a pose from Yin Yoga, and it's a pose that we can stay in for quite a long time. So we come down onto our belly, just walking the hands down nice and gently. I'm going to demonstrate this on both sides because it's really important that the arm comes out almost like a stop sign or a cactus on the floor. So a straight line from the shoulder to the elbow. Forearm straight out in front. We then roll over onto the left hip and take the right leg behind for balance. The right hand on the floor here acts as your lever to begin to open up the chest. So let me just come and demonstrate that on the opposite side as well. I have my right arm on the floor. I come over onto my right hip. I take the left foot behind for balance. My ear is nice and supported with the head on the floor. And I step that right hand in underneath. Left hand in underneath. Pressing down gently so I'm opening up the chest towards the side of the room. And what I'm feeling here is a beautiful opening into the right shoulder. I invite you to stay here for at least 5 breaths. Closing down the eyes. And then to release very, very slowly, rolling back onto your tummy. And taking the arm back down by your side and just resting for a few moments after you've done the left and right. In between the poses, just to allow that opening that you've created in the shoulder to really just begin to recalibrate. Pressing the palms into the mat and then slowly coming up. So those are the few poses that I have chosen today to share with you to give you some relief from tension in your neck and your shoulders. And as always, I encourage you to finish your practice with a mini Shavasana. So hopefully that will assist you, and I look forward to hearing your feedback and how you've gone. Namaste.